All right, so then the third thing is imagination. Imagination. And so you have to, we kind of go along with excellence. If God is your partner, think big. Think big. What can you do? You know, if God is your partner, the Bible says He does exceedingly abundantly above what we can ask or just according to the power that works in you. So God is not phased. He's going to be God and He's going to do big things. But the thing is He's going to do it through you. And He only does it through you when you present Him a bigger bag. Whatever bag you use in 2015, give God a bigger bag. Amen. God will not pour into you if you don't have the capacity to hold it.
Yes, Jesus.
Yeah. He only pours into what you
Bless my heart. Give God a bigger bag. Yes. Wow. Come on here.
All right. So nothing starts happening. Nothing starts happening until somebody starts dreaming. Somebody got to start dreaming. When you start dreaming, things start to happen. Without imagination, your default is to remain the same.
Lord, have mercy.
Wow. You'll go back to what you're accustomed to. Yeah. But when you start dreaming, God gets in your dream. And said, yeah, that's possible. That's according to my plan for your life. Amen.
So you have to be open to change.
Yeah.
One of the things, I don't know, I was born with it. I'm open to change. Maybe because I had 9 siblings and nothing was the same in my home ever. We had change and I had to be open to it. Somebody say you're a middle child. You're not a middle child when you're the 5th of 9. You're just in there. That's right. And you go with the flow. And if it changes, you go with it. You don't fight because you can't fight on this end because you got 4 people older than you. Can't fight on this end because you got 4 people younger than you. You just in the middle and so you go with change. I'm good with change. I'm not stuck. I tell my church that all the time. Don't stick me. I'm not married to it. The only person I'm married to is Him and God. So other than that, I'm not married to a thought or an idea. If it worked last year, good, but we might have a better idea this year. Let's keep on moving. You know, in my house, I change my couch pillows. If it's one color for a little while, I get tired looking at them, I change them out and make it a different color. Just because I like change, I'm open to change, so I can always say yes to God. God knows He can depend on me. Let me go get Sharon, because she's not stuck. And if I say a thing, she gonna be able to move because she's not stuck saying, well, that's the way we always did. But God said, I want another thing. God is an ever-moving God. He's so big. I mean, how can we stay right here when you know you only touch the iceberg, a tiny piece of what God is, and there's so much more vastness to God. Oh my goodness. If I start thinking about, I just look at that mountain out there and I'd be like, oh God, how excellent is your name. God is a big, giant God. He can do big, giant things. And so people say, y'all trying to be a mega church. Absolutely, positively. If we get a new building, I expect more people to enter into that building. Because God is a big God. He ain't interested in 1 and 2 souls being saved. Right. He's not interested in just 3 people sitting in Sunday school. He wants the whole church Sunday school.
Amen.
He wants the whole neighborhood Sunday school. It ain't good enough to just have 3 kids. I want 50. I want 100. I want 1,000 kids to be teaching.
All right.
I'm open to change. What about you?
That's it.
You got to be open to some change and movement. Go with your Sunday school teacher. He's a very superintendent. He's a very wide thinker, smart man. Got some stuff inside of him that God has yet to even expose him. Go with, don't fucking fight against everything. We ain't never do this way, but do it now and watch God move.
Yeah, just quickly as we move on from that is imagination is, if you have to think about what will attract the people, what will cause them to come. And so one time we just saw people struggling with certain things in life, and that kind of going to another point I got here, but just kind of thinking about what are the needs of the people that will make them want to come. You know what I mean? So one time we just scrapped the Sunday school book and we went into Man in the Mirror, and we had something for the women too, because people were struggling with sex issues. Yeah, and they were hearing the Sunday school lesson, but it wasn't connected. And so we had to deal with what they were struggling with, what they were fighting with. We had to address the need in their lives. So we changed up for a moment and went to something else, and it drew the crowd. Because they were fighting, they were struggling. They had these secret battles inside of them that the church wasn't addressing.
Oh my God.
And so we addressed it, man. I mean, they were eating it up. Yeah. All right, so imagination, we good with imagination? Okay, all right. Then you have, and I put here goals, because you gotta have goals, because passion needs a process. Passion needs a process on how to flesh it out, you know what I mean? And, how to make it tangible so that you can see results. So you gotta have goals. But another thing I want to kind of partner with this is, you got to have the gift for what you're doing. Okay, I'm just gonna say something is that we had to reorganize our church, not to organize it by position, but by gifting. Because if you did it by position, you put a person in a position that didn't have the gift for it. And they wouldn't last, they didn't know that's not what God wired them for. But then you have people who have the gift that God wired them for these certain things, and you put them in that place, they flow. Are you with me? Amen. Sometimes you got people in position that's not wired for it, that does not have the gift, does not make them a bad person, it's just not what God called them to do. But when you put a person in a place where God called them to, they function automatically.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I have to ask it. How did you know that people were misaligned?
Yeah. Well, we do gift assessments. It's a part of our assimilating people into our church. So we teach on gifts. And then we have to do a gift assessment so that they can identify their gift, that we put them in the right place. You can't put a person that this person don't have the gift of serving into a hospitality position. They're gonna drive everybody away.
So the wrong person to be in that position would be a person with compassion. As opposed to a server. So a server is just going to serve, they're going to do it the way it's supposed. But a person with compassion thinks, oh, everybody needs to get 5 pieces of chicken. Come on, why can't she have 5? Because they're compassionate and they're not seeing the need that only 2, so that everybody else can have some. So that's the problems that you could face. And now that compassionate person is mad and they frustrated and they quitting the church over it. And because you ain't no server, you just ain't gonna do it like that. So you gotta be able to flush out who goes where. Know those that labor among you. It's scriptural that we know those that labor among us. We like Apostle said, we do the survey. We give out these are your type of ministries that you should probably be working in. And we put them there. We've had people doing stuff that they went from ministry to ministry to ministry, trying to figure it out. But then they take the survey and be like, oh, this is where I should have been a long time ago. And it's more successful for that person. And for us, it takes the headache out of it.
Absolutely. Because she's an administrator. I'm a visionary. I don't like meetings. I tell you what I want, what I see, write it down. You handle that. I can't sit no 2 or 3 hour meeting. My mind gonna flow. I want to preach and teach, and I want to lay hands on folks. I don't want to sit in no meetings. I want to just tell you what I want. I sit in as much as I need to. After that, my mind's gonna drift. Right? She has attention to detail. I just put it down. She had to put it down. She got to decorate it. She got to make it smell good. I don't have time for that. I don't have the patience. I was not wired that way. She tried to get me to clean up, but we had guests come to the house. I said, if you want it to be done like you want it to be done, you need to call somebody else. I'm gonna do a surface.
Yes.
It ain't gonna look nasty, it's gonna be surface, but you won't smell. First place her, I can tell her straight up. She goes in there with an attitude after I get she put all kind of stuff in there to make it smell.
I love that you're sharing it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Instead of me getting frustrated with him, I let him do it, but I went behind him. I did that, but what I just thought about as you were saying that sometimes we can get frustrated with other people in ministry because we're not recognizing what they're gifted for. He's not gifted to do that. That wasn't something that he specialized in. So instead of me getting frustrated, I just go, let me fix it. But in ministry, if you decide that you know what that person is good at, and you put them there, you won't have to go behind them, you won't get frustrated. I used to get frustrated in transparent moment again. I used to get frustrated in ministry because the people that were interceding and the prophets and stuff, they'd be in there, all they think to do is pray and that's it. And I thought, why you can't clean up? Why can't you get something in line? But I'm frustrating myself because that's not what they do. And let me be happy that they're in there interceding and praying and doing what they do and prophesying. Let me get to my administrating and service. It doesn't make me a bad person, and it doesn't make them a bad person. When you're able to accept what the gifting that person has, it makes you flow so much better. You get there and pray for me, girl. I'm about to go out here in a minute and stuff.
Amen.
Yeah, because everybody's not going to be doing the same thing. And that's what we want. Now, I'm teaching. Why can't she teach? Because they ain't called to that. That's not even their passion. They don't get out the bed thinking about teaching. They don't study their lesson thinking about teaching. A teacher dissects every word. An exhorter just reads to be like, yeah, that's good. I can exhort from there. Teacher, exhorter. I'm not about to be mad with you. Teach the word. And I'm going to get up and exhort. That's what you do. So you recognize what you have amongst you, and then you don't get mad at what they're doing, and be happy with what you're doing, and it just works for good. It works together.
Oh yeah, very good. Good point. I want to back it up. I'm going to hit this piece here. People gravitate to what you promote. And sometimes if you're not presenting the totality of the gospel, people will gravitate to stuff and try to accept stuff that they're not called for. For instance, I've seen people try to preach because everybody else is preaching. Everybody else is passionate, excited about preaching. All of a sudden, they assume that they're preachers. And you see, it just don't work for them. And they want to leave the church because you don't recognize their preaching ability. You're not a preacher. That makes sense? Yeah. Praise